That was the good thing about being a comedian. Bad things happen to you, it's just material.
This tastes like sex with a mistress.
I bomb in private,
so
I can thrive in public. That's amazing, Jesse!
That's a good shirt. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Tea Time with Jesse. I'm here today with a very special guest of mine, Jiaoying Summers.
So happy to be here.
Would you like to give everybody a little bit of a self-introduction? Who are you? What are you up to?
Yes. Hi, Jesse's World. My name is Jiaoying Summers. I'm Jesse if he's not a Jewish man, but a Chinese woman. The reason we can do things that crazy, like he does stand up in Mandarin Chinese as a white boy. I do stand up in. He's fresh off the boat in China. I'm fresh off the boat in America, and it's very difficult. It's because the thing special about us is that because our parents abused us more than yours.
Dude, we had problems. Something happened to us.
Something happened to us. That we are that crazy.
And we're going to investigate that. But before we get into all the problems,
focus. Yeah.
We got to have some tea.
Yeah, those are beautiful.
So this is the ancient tree green tea, the 古树绿茶.
Right.
Yeah, give that a sniff. This is from Guangxi, the Hongyao自治区, the Red Yao people. They have this ancient tree grove over there, and this is one of the 4 teas that are going to be in the green tea sampler that is launching very, very soon.
That smells so good.
Yeah, depending on when you see this, either the pre-order or the actual thing will be available. I'm actually going to China in not that long.
I'm going to meet you in China, right?
Yeah, I think you're going to be in Beijing when I'm
We're going to be in Beijing, a big reunion.
That'll be fun. We'll have a little Beijing party.
Yeah.
So this is the ancient tree green tea. There we go. Have this first one. This first one's going to be really light and sweet.
Wow.
The ancient tree green tea, it's got a little bit more of that depth to it. The ancient tree tea is a little bit funkier, and but the green tea is really, really light. So this is it's kind of almost a unique thing. It's not easy to find ancient tree green tea. So this is a real treat. Cheers.
Cheers.
There we go. 觉得怎么样？
非常好。清爽。
说得好。
清爽。
I was actually going to ask you about the adjectives. For whatever reason, I find it the hardest thing to come up with funny adjectives in the other language. Like, I can describe what's happening. If I tell a funny story in Chinese, that's funny. But if I want to have that perfect word to describe it, it's a lot harder.
清爽可口。
清爽可口。这个好. Yeah, so we don't have these words in English. Whatever the subtitlers did, they did a great job because I don't even know how to translate. Like clear and crisp.
Yeah, clear and crisp and make you feel comfortable. You can have the flavor, but it's not like a whoa.
Yeah, it's very the first one. Easy drinking.
It's like a virgin sex. It's like it's good, it's fun, it's not crazy, but it's good.
We're gonna put that on the packaging.
It's experience.
We're gonna put that in the pack. We should have like a Jiaoying reviews all of my teas thing.
I should.
She's like, oh, this is a virgin sex. This is like that guy that you can't get out of your apartment, and you don't know how he got in there. And then so I guess people wouldn't buy that tea then. Probably not.
They wouldn't. Yeah.
We got to come up with
unless he's paying for the apartment.
Yeah, unless he's paying for the apartment. In which case, you know how he got in the apartment.
Stay in the closet. Closet.
Yeah, this is the way it is. So how did you originally come to the States? When did you move here?
2009.
Okay.
On that fateful day, Jiaoying Summers took a plane to Kentucky.
To Kentucky?
From Beijing to Kentucky.
Yeah, and did they have a direct flight from Beijing to Kentucky?
No, went to Chicago.
Yeah.
Got lost in the airport.
Yeah.
Thank God my aunt bought me 3 panda bear toys. I was just walking, trying to talk to people. People don't talk to you in the airport.
No.
They think I'm trying to get the nails done. Like they don't talk to me. They're like, go away!
People are like, this is, the airport is not a good place to meet people.
Yeah, I couldn't ask people where do I transfer from Chicago, O'Hare to Lexington, Kentucky. They don't talk to me.
They didn't talk to you. They were just
they just push me away. They don't touch me because
they don't want to get in that. They don't want any of that smoke.
No.
But in terms of the trips, you went to Kentucky and then you were doing college in Kentucky. Is that right?
Yeah, I studied business, economics, finance. I learned theater on the side because I want to become an actress.
Nice.
So I went from Kentucky to Hollywood right away after school. 2013, I moved from Kentucky to Hollywood. I drove.
So you drove there? I drove all the way also. We probably took some of the same roads because I went across Tennessee and all the way when I was going east. So you studied in school. What was it like studying in Kentucky? Was that like what you were expecting coming from China? Where were you from in China originally?
河南
Henan. Okay, cool.
大省
No, 大省. Okay, very cool.
人口大省
Yeah.
So, I mean, I thought I would become pretty when I come to America, but it wasn't the case because I was not confident. I was slouching. My boob just came in. I was slouching, and I have acne on my forehead. I was wearing a band. It's disgusting. Ugly people wear bands. Like hot people wear band when they have the mood. Ugly people cannot not have bands.
Ugly
So
people don't have. It's a question of choice.
If you are in love with somebody, lift the bands first before you really think you're in love.
Yeah, because that's the thing. If you attracted them and you had the band, and then all of a sudden you take the band off, they might not even recognize you.
Yes.
Might be a different person.
Exactly.
Might be living in a whole different world.
Yes.
That would be the way
Maybe
to
it's a different pronoun.
It could be you never know. You never know. So you were doing so you lived a band life in Kentucky, and then you were
ugly.
like, I'm taking
Slouching.
the band. You're slouching. How
Everything.
do you deal with this? I have the bad posture.
My
What do
mom
you do?
hit me in the back whenever she see me slouching. Now she lives with me, so it helps.
Yeah. So
It hurts. Physically, it's just like. So now I'm slouching.
Pain.
I think about her face. I just go
Yeah.
like this.
That's the only true way to knowledge
Yeah,
is pain.
to feel the pain. I love
Yeah.
the pain. I enjoy pain very much.
And that like hits you at like a reptile level. Like your
Yeah.
reptile brain is just like, oh,
Yeah.
don't slouch, don't slouch, don't slouch.
Yeah, my mom helps me in every way. All her verbal abuse now
Yeah.
works in my favor as a comedian.
All the abuse, yeah, this is good. That was the good thing about being a comedian, and continues to be the good thing. If bad things happen to you, it's just material.
Exactly, that's the best. And
Other people, it's just bad.
Yeah.
For you, maybe you will benefit.
Yes, it's funny. It's all the things you can do. It's funny. Like every time I break up with a guy, I'm like, oh my god, I finally can say this now.
Yeah. So you'll be keeping back all the jokes just in case.
Yeah, I'll have the jokes, and whenever like we finally break up, I'll be like,
Oh,
thank
there
God
we go.
he's gone. I'll be like,
Which ex-boyfriend do you think you got the most material from? You don't need to name names.
unfortunately, it's my ex-husband,
Oh.
but I don't talk about him as much because I think it's better for my children.
No, it's probably
to not.
good.
I mean, it's all like light jokes now about
Yeah, yeah.
him. But like all of the guys, like sort of went on dates with in college, and briefly dated a few guys after my husband. Those guys are weird. They are losers. So
Where do you go to find these people?
I don't like. I just. I mean, if I am really desperate, I can just go on dates every day. But I'm not. I was looking for somebody who's serious. I went on this dating app called The League.
Oh yeah, I heard about the league.
Disgusting.
Yeah.
So stupid. I mean, my friend got me on it. Oh my God. Those
Did you
guys
feel
are,
it? Yeah. What were the guys like on the league?
One of the guy was sweet. He's a doctor at Kaiser.
Hey,
He's
真好. Hey.
very handsome,
聪明. Hey.
very tall, very beautiful.
Oh, that's good.
But the problem with him is that, I mean, doctors are so busy. Like, I'm a comedian. I just feel like he's not gonna not treat a cancer patient because I'm doing a show in Tennessee. You know?
Yeah.
Because his job is always more important.
Yeah, he's like, literally, people could die if
Yeah.
I leave here, and you're like, but I have jokes, I got bits.
Yeah.
You got to tell me whether the bits are funny.
I know. So I just I thought he was really good.
That's funny.
He was very, very good. But I just knew that for me, I need a man who can actually be around me more.
Yeah.
Because
You
that's
don't-
how we
you
know
want-
each other.
Yeah, you don't want other people's lives depending on you guys being apart.
Yeah,
because
being
you
apart
can't
is
help
hard.
him. You can't be in a surgery and like telling jokes.
Yeah.
And then they're like literally they're knocked out. They're like getting surgery done.
Yeah.
And like you think you're killing it, but they just can't hear it.
Yeah.
It wouldn't
So
work.
I saw the he was a German American doctor, very handsome, very charming.
Hey,
But I think we both just kind of know like my schedule is getting so much more demanding, and
Yeah.
he can't be remote.
Can't do
He
it.
can't be with me on the tour.
That's the way to do it. This is the
So
thing.
we stopped talking to each other, but he was one of the good ones. You know, if I wasn't a comedian, that could work. If
That
I
could
lived in
work.
LA,
Yeah.
we can just have a. He loved the life. He loved art. He was
Yeah.
great. He was very handsome.
I
Yeah,
gotta
but
find.
I'm also like really realistic. I don't want to pretend it's gonna work out because
Yeah, yeah.
if we don't see each other at
It's
all,
not
we
gonna
see each other
happen.
once a month.
Also, like, what's the point? Like,
I'm
what's
a
the
single
point?
mom. I have two children.
You have 2 kids.
I have 2 kids, and I need a man who I can live, work together.
Yeah.
We should be something we are doing together. We can be doing it together, and build an empire together, like a power couple.
Yeah.
You know, like a power couple.
You want to get to the point where like neither of you can be defeated because the other one would rescue you.
Exactly.
Or like destroy your enemy.
I'm
together.
all building an empire together.
Yeah, you gotta
right?
build the
You have
empire.
to know each other, be together. So I knew that's not gonna happen. And then the other guys like pretend to be rich guys, and I'm like, I don't. They try to like tell me how much money they have. I'm like,
Not the point.
Honey, I had a Bentley.
Yeah.
Just relax.
You're like, I've
car.
seen it before. I've seen it before.
My car is
What do you
the
think of it, like, if because especially this happens in Hollywood, if like people are like, I have a lot of money or I have a lot of followers, what does that do to you? You just don't want to deal with it.
I'm disgusted by them. I like a nice person who is kind, genuine, with talent. That I think
that's hard to find.
Yeah. I don't like when people brag about how much money they have.
Yeah, it's really
how much follower they have.
There's like all sorts of crazy shit. I got invited to a party once. It was like an influencer party, and you needed to put your Instagram handle into the invite before they would even tell you where the party was.
That's hilarious.
And I was like, but the thing was, it would be really funny if they were doing it on, like, they knew what they were doing, but they are unironically doing this. If it was ironic, it would be funny. If it was unironic, which it is, it's not funny at all. I'm like, who are these people here? I don't want to go to the party anymore. Like, deal with these people. But so all of this comes together in the sense that we give people maybe a little bit more of a, beginning, middle, end to your story here. So you moved to LA after you did college in Kentucky.
Yeah.
I had asked before, like, what did you like about Kentucky? Did you like Kentucky? Do you not like Kentucky? You're getting out of there. Do you like it? What do you think of Kentucky?
Rolling hills, beautiful scenery. The summer in the Red River Gorge with all the flowers, beautiful. I think the first love of my life. Ilya, that's my first husband. We were college sweethearts. We spent a lot of time in the nature. He's more like he's a Russian American guy. Was born in Russia, went to America when he's 4, so he's more not fresh to the boat. A scientist. It was like you can't see me being with a scientist. Imagine Joe Wong. So he's just sweetest. He's the sweetest. And we enjoyed hiking, and I didn't. I just whatever. I didn't know what to do, but I loved the nature.
Just like walking
he
up in
just
the hills.
more crazy about nature. He loved everything about the nature.
There's some really nice nature in that part of the country.
I know. We spent a lot of time in the nature, and he took the most early photograph of me.
Oh, really?
As I could be object of a model, of a performer, or something.
You were saying you never had a photograph taken of you
like
before?
a real photo,
like an actual photo
like
shoot.
Like me would be posing next thing, not like a family photo, a school photo in China. You know? So he just thought I was beautiful, and I never thought that way. But I met some model girl in Kentucky that I paint, so they need to do some makeup with the butterfly on the face, and I said I can do it. I did it, and I realized I can be a makeup artist. So I started doing makeup for the models, and then the models were like, "You should be a model." I'm like, "What? I'm ugly." But then they want me to do it. I said, "I don't want to do it." They're like, "It's $500 for a shoot for Harley Davidson." I'm like, "I'll be there."
He'll be there.
Yeah,
I got the Harley Davidson money.
And they were like, "Don't slouch. You want $500? Don't slouch." I'm like, "No, not slouching anymore. Anything for $500."
Anything for $500.
So I did that. I was like, "Okay, I'm hot now." So I started getting eye contact.
Was it that quick? You're just like, I'm hot now.
I see the photo. I'm like, that could be me. I mean, that was me. So the first thing I put hair back, clip it back. I start squeezing lemon juice on my forehead to kill the acne.
Is that how all these techniques, man?
I don't know. The acne was disgusting. So I'm like, I'll do whatever it takes to remove.
Could be worse.
So I squeeze the lemon juice. It helps a little bit. I don't know. I just do whatever. I start showing it. I don't stop picking on it. Then I removed my glasses. I become hot. I was wearing lenses. Then I'm like, okay,
then you're
we
like,
can work
I'm
with
a
this.
lens person now.
Yeah, I'm like eye contact lenses. I said, we can be cute. So I stopped slouching. I go to the gym now.
Yeah.
So I started hitting the gym, and I realized I'm hot. And then that's how
That's how there was
started
like.
to try to tell me.
Was there one moment where it just like flipped?
Oh yeah. I was a math tutor in Kentucky. So I remember I was tutoring. I just tutored people's homework, and we have a great basketball team, Kentucky basketball team, UK. And then there's one of the basketball team guy, a big star now.
Yeah.
Not saying his name.
Yeah.
It wasn't Anthony Davis.
Yeah.
Somebody else.
Yeah.
Similar.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I was doing their homework because there's another girl. It's a Chinese girl, a rich girl who has daddy's money. She drives a Beamer and white Beamer. She's so pretty. The Chinese pretty. She's skinny like this chopstick.
白富美.
Skinny. That's how skinny she is.
Yeah.
Skinny, and she has like a really small V-shaped face. Fan Bingbing face.
Yeah.
And then she's so
big eye,
pretty.
small
Big
face.
eye, tall nose.
What's your WeChat?
Small lips, cherry lips, and she's so pretty. And so the basketball star be like, hey, we are celebrating, the party. Would love to invite you. he was saying that to me. I didn't even look at him. I was like,
it can't be me.
Yeah, exactly.
Like it's not me. And then
he's like, hello, Chinese girl.
Yeah.
I said, me? He goes, yeah, I want you to be at the party. What's your number? Can I have your number?
I'm like, oh.
I was still shocked. my friend, the white girl, the white Chinese girl.
Yeah.
She's like, excuse me, do you mean to ask my number?
Yeah, she's like, are you
asking my number?
You got a lazy eye or something?
Yeah.
You're looking in the wrong direction. Like I think you're looking here. You're looking over there.
Yeah. She's like, do you mean my number? He's like, no, I want her number. I was like, you want my number, not her number? She's a hot one. He's like, no, I don't want her number. I want your number. But she can be your +1.
Oh, that was very nice of him.
This girl,
she probably freaked out.
she freaked out, Jesse. You are the only person
Lost
in the
her
history
shit.
can understand this. She stood up. She's like, excuse me,
Yeah.
you are asking her number,
Yeah.
not my number.
但我怎么没啊？
I want
我
to
怎么
know
没？
that.
你怎么问他的呢？
对呀
Yeah.
I just want to know that in China, I'm prettier than her because her skin's too dark.
That was what I was gonna say. It's like, 因为他皮肤太黑了。
Oh,
这个
to a black guy.
哎呀
She said
yeah, to a black. Yeah, and then he's like, what are you?
Then he started laughing. He's like, oh my God, God damn it, that's the funniest I ever heard. You get a 10, vampire. So that's like he started laughing like I'm really hot. Like
Yeah,
it's a joke. It's like somebody calling Halle Berry ugly.
That's
it's
so
like
funny.
you think Halle Berry is ugly, you have a lazy eye.
Yeah.
So he's laughing because when she told him that I am not pretty, she's a pretty one because I'm too
funny.
dark.
There you
So
go.
that's the moment I'm like, you know what?
Hey, if you're
not-
especially in college, the college basketball players, that's like that's the top of the top.
That's the validation.
So you get that
That's the
confidence.
green check mark.
You show up in LA, and then LA. It's a lot about confidence. It's like it's not just LA, but it's just like the entirety of like performing. You know, like no one wants to see someone on stage. It's like I'm not actually like excited to be here. You know?
Oh,
what I mean?
you have to command the stage. I mean, you got to do it in Chinese. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
And we have to do the harder way. It's just a million times harder because our mind have to be even faster to be able to channel the funny in a second language. It's just really difficult.
You need to
because
really
you were
be
not
thinking.
you were not born bilingual. You
Yeah,
were
yeah.
not born with.
No.
Okay, I learned
Yeah.
English when I was 18.
Yeah.
We have the same path, right?
Do you feel like you have an advantage over the native speakers in the sense that like because you know you have to earn it, you actually fight harder?
I work harder.
Yeah.
I bought my own club. I commit. Like I commit to men, career, and my family. Like I commit. I'm a very
hardcore.
traditional Chinese woman. I'm a communist
If you're gonna
queen.
do it, yeah, hui.
Yeah, I believe in commitment.
I give all for it. Do you have a 5-year plan?
Oh yeah, I have
true,
a 5 months plan, 5-year plan. My
There you go.
5-year plan I can accomplish it in 6 months. So now I need to write.
There we go. Well, that 效率太高了. That you're gonna
效率高，
Yeah,
对。
效率高. Yeah.
I don't complain. I
Just
work.
go out and get it.
I work.
Well,
hard.
that was one thing that I saw because I performed at your club, the Hollywood Comedy, and it reminded me a lot in many ways of the club that I had put together in China, which is like at the time in Beijing, if you wanted to do like stand-up, like real stand-up, there was really nowhere to do it because you could perform in like a bar, but then they would be like playing music in the back, or they would have like people coming in and out of the baojian, and it was like I wanted to just do stand-up. I wanted to be in a stand-up club, but there were no comedy clubs, and there were xiangsheng like tea houses, but they were all like Deyun She. They had their own thing going. It wasn't like you could book them. So I rented a courtyard and I turned it into a small comedy club, and that was the beginning of like trying to be able to do what I wanted to do with the stand-up. And so you kind of did the opposite here, where you're like, you know, and Hollywood is actually much harder because it's hard to get stage time here.
Very hard.
It's very hard to like, and without stage time as a comedian, you can't like practice.
Can't get better.
You literally can't get better. And so it's like, you know, but a lot of comedians don't want to do the work of actually hustling together the whole show. So they kind of just like complain. But you aren't going to do that.
I don't complain.
How did you think to like, I'm actually going to do it. I'm going to open my own comedy club.
So when I auditioned for John Singleton, he did Boys in the Hood, a TV show he did. Rebel is a TV show about a black girl who's a cop, had a Chinese sidekick. It's rush hour on a low budget.
Yeah, low budget rush hour.
And he asked me to improv.
Yeah.
And I started improvising. And they were across the table with me, the casting people. He stood up, started laughing. He stood up. He walked over to me with his phone playing Ali Wong's Baby Cobra. He said,
Yeah.
"You should do stand up. You're gonna be a big star."
Yeah.
I'm like,
Really?
oh my God, me? Do I have the job now? Do I have the job now?
Yeah,
He goes,
yeah.
hell no.
Yeah. He's like, no, not for us. You should do that. You get out of here.
Get out.
Go there.
Get out.
But like, that's kind of.
He
that's
got my
actually,
phone number though.
Oh yeah. Okay.
And he texted me the next day. He's like, do you want to have tea with me at Playa Vista in this, I remember that, Cafe Del Rey. And that's where he lives. His boat is there. We went there. He said, I'm serious. I'll be here for you. I'll support you. I'll do whatever. I'll make phone calls. But you have to do something for me. You're going to go to the open mic first. You go do it for open mic. I didn't do it because I felt that he just wanted to feel bad. He rejected me and he wanted me to feel better about my failures. I knew because if I cannot book a job memorizing the pages and pages of a dialogue somebody else written for me, just be a vessel to say it. How can I be on stage, write my own joke?
It is
performing in my second language. Like this is not even possible. I just did not know I could do it because there's no stand up in China. You and Jiaoying are the first people who really
there's not a lot of
stand up.
It's very very recent.
Before you guys were doing it, we have xiangsheng, but it's different art form. So I didn't know I can do it. And so I went back to China. I hosted the Shanghai Film Festival. We have a Danyuan is foreign films. I was hosting it, and because I am bilingual, and that's where I met my ex-husband. And then he was very charming. We fell in love. He's very rich, very very handsome, and crazy about me. And he impressed all my friends, taking them to his yacht.
Oh, that's it. That's a big play.
And also like the Shanghai, there's like a restaurant. It's $2,000 per person. He took 20 people there.
这最贵的。
对吧? All my friends tell me I should date him.
Yeah.
Because they want his treatment. They want to be his friends.
They were benefiting from like
Pimping me out.
Him pimping you out. So that was
And he at the beginning he was amazing. He said, you know what? You're my girlfriend. You're not auditioning for those assholes. I'm gonna spend $5 million to buy your movie.
哎，这个好。
He did it.
He did it?
Yeah, but the problem is that the TV show he invested in the lead role, you know.
Yeah.
Since I wasn't famous, so they want me to look the part.
Yeah.
Which I had to be pretty.
Yeah.
Which this is not pretty. I need to lose 20 pounds.
You can't get sucked into this.
I was bleaching my skin. They want me to bleach my skin.
You can't get
And
sucked
I bleached one session, and then I also can't eat. I was eating spinach, so I almost fainted on set. I said, I don't remember my lines. They were like, oh, don't worry, we have voiceover.
This is why you gotta do
voiceover.
You gotta do voiceover for your own lines. That's really goddamn annoying.
I'm like, no.
You get no. And this is the good thing about being a comedian is like if you're a comedian, you get to do it your way. Like that's the best part. Like people are like, oh, you should be like this. No. Because it doesn't matter. No one's advice about your comedy is ever good advice.
Yes.
You know. Have you noticed? Everybody tells you, "Ideal, you should do this. You should do this." It's always horrible ideas.
Yes, I'm getting the IV skin, like basically skin bleaching IV, eating spinach, getting on set and fainting. And then they also like, can you get Botox on your cheeks? Because your cheeks are too big. It's taking over the camera. I'm
God, it's taking over the camera.
So they did my hair like this, Jesse.
That's
they
good.
did my hair like this, and they used the hair tie like this, so it can be more V shape. And then I wear like a turtleneck, so I look like this.
Yeah, I
So
to make it clear, Tea Time with Jesse has no restrictions on the size or shape of the faces.
Yeah, the bigger the better.
Big
Big face is good.
Big
Small face is
good.
okay. Whatever you have.
You need, as long as you have a face so you can drink tea. That's all it is. Now
Yes.
we're gonna have some people yell at us because some people don't have heads. But we'll be all right.
Yeah, so, and I just decided, I said, I was the girl who was bullied for having darker skin. If I become successful as an artist, I don't want to be the light skin. I don't want to lie to them. I want them to be okay with what they look like.
That's the thing. That was the thing. That's the thing I'm struggling with here.
So I left.
Yeah, you just can't.
I said, I can't do it. So they found
it.
somebody else. My ex-husband was so angry at me, but I'm like, I can't do this. I have to be authentic to my voice.
Yeah.
That's what I look like. I want the girls who look like this and feel good.
Yeah.
Instead of like, oh, I have to bleach and lose weight. No.
No.
Be whatever you are.
Yeah.
So that's why I went back to America.
It's like you can't, in the long term, like how are you going to beat other people trying to pretend to be them when you're not actually them?
Exactly.
It's not going to work.
Just be you. So I come back to America. I still have nothing. I just had a baby. I got fat, and I text John. I said, I'm doing open mic now. He said, do it, and what do you think? Let me know what you think. So I started open micing. I realized there's no stage time. You sit for 3 hours for a lottery mic. It's not even worth it.
Yeah.
So I decided to buy my club. The first month I started, I'm like, no, I need 10,000 hours. Who should I to get 10,000 hours? And I'm like, I should myself.
There we go.
Yeah,
You put that on a shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah, put that on a shirt.
Yeah.
That's inspirational, people.
Yeah, I myself to get this comedy club on Melrose. It's a small black box theater that seats 40 people, and that's where I started. I was the
that's a great
host,
place.
the owner, the toilet cleaning lady, everything.
Yeah, you got to do it all yourself. It's a great venue. You should go see the shows. There's a lot of mics there now, a lot of shows.
Daily mic.
And the cool thing about the stand-up is like, and I remember I had this moment when I did my first like big, we'll say like big stand-up show in China, where I was like, these are the same jokes I'm doing at that 30, 40 person mic. And now I'm doing them on TV. And I'm like, oh, like if you can do it for 30 people, you can do it for 500.
Oh, yeah.
It's actually easier to do it for 500 than it is for 30.
Also, people like us, we are born performers. The more people, the better.
Yeah. I like there to be more, obviously, but you don't need it to make good comedy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So if you can't kill 20 rooms, you can't do it.
You need to make money, but you don't need it to actually get good at the
Intimate
thing.
room is good.
Yeah.
Because you say things that normally you don't say.
And if it's your club, it's probably the same as it was you hosted a lot, probably, right?
I was the open mic host. I hosted 10 hours a day.
Yeah, that's nuts. 10 hours a day.
10 hours.
Did you have like, so were you just doing mic after mic after mic during the day?
Nobody was hosting. I was the only host. Before I hired anybody, I decided to do it to see how to run this place.
Yeah.
So I was hosting every single day. Every single mic, I was a host. And I work on my jokes. I bring people up. And for the first weeks, my mic was free because it's new.
Yeah.
I'm being Chinese, like it's free.
Yeah.
Just come here.
Just come here.
So I can be on stage and talk about.
Well, you need audience.
Yeah, so it was free. Then we become popular, obviously.
Yeah.
But I just really paid my dues. People don't understand it. They think I blew up so fast, but they don't understand it. I bought my own club.
No, and it's like, it is like that. It's like, you need the stage time, but a lot of people think it takes 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years because they're doing 5 minutes a night and then they don't have a second show.
Yeah,
There's
they do
nothing there.
they do one show a month.
Yeah.
I do 10 shows a day.
Yeah, and so it's like you will get better doing it that way.
You keep bombing and you get better.
I
bombed in private.
Yeah.
So I thrived in public.
Yeah. You bomb, but again, put on a shirt. You gotta have your own line.
I bomb in
I bomb in private
so I can thrive in public. That's amazing,
pretty good.
Jesse.
That's a good shirt.
That's a good one, right?
You said it. You said it right now.
Dustin,
You're just looking over at Dustin like, write that down.
Dustin, please. I bombed in private so I can thrive in public.
Yeah, there we go. It's good. There we go.
Amazing.
You got one good T-shirt idea out of this
nice
podcast.
T-shirt.
You'll have 2 or 3 by the end. It's not surprising to me that you're doing well in comedy because I think people hit 2 problems with language. One, they're not willing to even speak. And then the second thing is that sometimes you have people who are willing to speak, but they're not really being themselves in the second language.
I think so because everybody I loved left me, so I have nothing to lose.
You have
I'm
nothing
like,
to lose.
you know what? That's what I got. You want to leave? You.
Yeah. And that energy is the sort of thing that's going to drive you through that hard stuff because there's 2 types of people that make it in performance. One is the people that have enough money, they can just kind of like keep doing it slowly forever and eventually they just know everybody and they're okay. And the second type are the people who like have everything to lose. They've staked it all. This is I can dance, that's the only thing I can do. I have no backup plan. So what has it been like sort of seeing both the social media followers going up and getting into bigger clubs and being able to do your own shows and headlining it? What has that really changed in the way that you've like looked at things?
I think my work ethic with my people skill both helped me. Because I am very grateful. If you help me, I'll be grateful. A lot of people in the business as an artist, they are very spacey. Somebody literally launched their career. They don't even talk to them anymore. Those people lose in a long run because there's a lot of talents. If I helped you, you don't have to suck my but like I want you to at least say hi. Or during the holidays, send a card, or just this shows when you are in public, when you talk about your journey, mention my name. You don't have to be like, oh, just mention like I talk about John Singleton because he was there for me. He told me like nobody. Sometimes he help people whose big stars are they don't talk about. They just like, oh, I woke up, I decided something. I don't do that. If you help me,
that appreciation goes a long way. Like, because it's like I think also especially when you get to a point in life where you're like, I want to help people. Like, if you want to be able to help people, really all you're asking for is just for a thank you.
Open the door,
open the door.
You.
Also, like, it's like, if for the people who are actually going to run and do it, like, he can open the door, he can't write your jokes.
No.
It has to be you doing the work. So it's like, it's actually kind of easy for people to, it's a lot easier than people might think to say, let me help you out, let me help you out. But you have to be the person who's going to like run through the wall.
Yeah.
So that when you do succeed on the other end of it, you can say, oh, thank you so much. You know, that was a big deal.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why I always like, even now, like, you know, I always tell people it's hard in Hollywood, but in China, I always still, first introduction, who are you? I say, I'm Ding Guangquan, the 徒弟. I'm Master Ding's disciple. Master Ding gave me this fan.
Gorgeous.
对，爱杰西弟子。拜师留念.
Oh, that's 拜师的时候送的。
师丁广权. So this is when I apprenticed to Master Ding, he wrote this calligraphy himself.
Oh, beautiful.
弄月朝风. The so 弄月 is like, you know, joke the moon and satirize the wind. The idea as a comedian, you want to be able to talk about everything. You know, 风月 风月之间都是内容，都是素材。
It's so beautiful. Yes, Jessie, I really felt like, you know, it goes a long way to show your appreciation. Like, for example, like I'm some people who kind of encouraged me even. I always remember the act of kindness because the world is very cruel. And one of the, I don't want to be a but I think I'm very smart.
You could be smart without being a
people just don't respect my intelligence because I have an accent. They were like, oh, she's a massage whore.
Yeah.
I wish I can be, I'll make more money, but I'm not.
That's the easy money. You've got the hard money.
Yeah,
No, the comedy money is never the easy money.
It's hard. So I'm actually very intelligent. Bitches, stop trying to fuck with me. You're gonna get
wrecked.
lose.
You're gonna lose.
You're gonna lose.
And it's gonna be painful and embarrassing.
You asshole. Don't
the whole
try.
Time.
Bitches, don't try to undermine my intelligence.
It's gonna be bad.
I'm smart because I realized that because I rise so fast in Los Angeles. Doesn't matter what I'm doing. Like I can be a regular at Love Factory. But it just
you got to figure out. You're at a point where actually, like a lot of people here, they chase what they think they're supposed to want. But then if you actually get to a point where you start to get stuff, then you actually need to realize like, oh, I need to actually know what I want. I can't just like blindly do stuff. And that was one of the things that I saw in China was like you would have people that they're like, I want to be on this big show. And then they'd get it. And then they basically just work for a talent company and then they just do KFC commercials. And they and that's not bad. Like, you know, good, get your money. You KFC, fantastic chicken. But like the reason it stops and then eventually usually it kind of like peters out is because they mistook the, you know, they say, oh, if I want to be a comedian, I want to be a regular at the Laugh Factory or whatever. And they forget that like, well, the point of it is not just to show up at a room every day.
No.
You know, you have to have a reason why you want to get there.
Yeah.
So what was, for you, for the comedy, what's the reason that you want to get there? That you can say, yes, I want that opportunity. I don't want that opportunity.
I think it was very funny. My first month doing open mic, when I was on my knees cleaning the bathroom, because I said, my mom always tell me, you open a place, the cleanest place should be the toilet. You should be able to drink that water. That's how clean that should be.
That's your mom's opening a comedy club 101, according to your mom.
We grew up in a restaurant, so she's the business owner, so I know business.
Yeah.
So I always want to make sure things are, because comedy clubs are disgusting, you know. So I want to make sure everything's clean and nice. I was in the bathroom cleaning the toilet. I was just looking at myself in the mirror. It was like my first month. I said, I want to be the first Chinese comedian to ever play the Apollo Theater, to headline, to do 1 hour and get a standing ovation.
And then they're like, that's the goal. Yeah. That's the goal.
Yeah, I did it in 4 years.
4 years, so you had an extra year on it.
Yeah.
That's amazing, man.
So that happened, and to that moment, I every day. The Apollo.
Cheers.
So that was a goal and impossible. The only woman who did it was Phyllis Diller. She did Carnegie Hall in 6 years. She performed at Carnegie Hall, 6 years in comedy.
What was it like performing at the Apollo?
It was such a battle. I fought hard for it. If I do it again, I won't do it. I guess I will still do it because I'm me. But it was so difficult in every single way. I did not get any sponsors. I had the ticket link very late. They didn't give me until 2 months before the show. It's 1,600 people.
Yeah, that's a lot of tickets to sell.
You are gonna do it. If you are doing the Apollo, you better sell the bitch out or don't do it. So I need to pull the plug or do it.
Yeah.
So I decided to do it. And
but that's a hard way to do it. That was not the easy way.
I made it happen.
You made it happen.
I got a standing ovation. I got all of the important people there.
There we go.
And Rosario Dawson came with her mask to support me because she's the queen of East Village. You know, she came. It was beautiful. It was amazing. But I think because I want to do that in 5 years, so every single day, I work towards that. Is that if I do one open mic, that's not enough. I do 10. I get home, I still write more. Then I tape a little joke on camera for TikTok. That was right before pandemic. And when I closed my club, there's pandemic, I have a choice. My ex-husband is like, I'm not paying for this because you are not funny, you don't speak English, you're not doing this. So I remember driving to the Real on La Cienega to sell my Birkin bags so I can keep the club alive. So I sold the 5 Birkin bags to be paying the rent.
There we go. That's the real joke. So if you're ever sitting in a comedy club, people think like, oh, a comedy club make money. Comedy club's a horrible business.
No, you don't.
It's a horrible business. And I say this as somebody who loves comedy clubs. Yeah, I didn't have any Birkin bags to sell, but we did make a little bit of money from the tickets and stuff like that. But it's not an easy business. And
No,
so
it's very hard.
you were like, so you were in, and so do you feel like? I mean, I'm sure you wouldn't have rather sold those bags, but like, do you feel like making the sale and you're like, I sold it, I'm in, I'm committed.
Yeah, I didn't care about the bags.
You didn't care about the bags.
I'll sell my kids if I had to. I'm kidding. I'm doing that so I can give them a good life.
That is good. Yeah.
So I sold the bags and I realized that I would never get respect in Los Angeles because people see me starting up here. People remember it was yesterday I was open micing. They don't believe because nobody has ever done this. Nobody has becoming a national headliner in 2 years, 3 years. You don't.
That's not the way it works.
Sell tickets.
But also the world is different now,
Yeah.
and that's because of the internet. Like
Yeah,
I
social
came here,
media.
it's like part of the reason I haven't been going to as many shows I thought I would is because when I first got here, I hit up the mics, I saw what you were saying, drive all around town for 3 minutes maybe. And I had been a professional
call
stand-up.
me.
I should have called you earlier.
Just do Jesse's show.
I should do a show. We should get a regular show at the Hollywood Comedy.
Yes,
get some
can
things
you
going.
make sure that
we gotta get people here. If you're in the
Listen,
LA area, you
Can you
gotta
make
come
sure
out.
he get his show at the club?
We should do some shows. That would be a lot of fun.
Like for sure.
really.
Like you have your show. You just have your show. You book people you want to showcase.
Yeah.
You headline.
That would be
like
fun.
It's like
I got to meet more people, and so you could be on it.
Yeah,
I do have a couple friends of mine that we're gonna be trying to put together some Chinese shows.
we
as
have
well.
to.
That'll be
That's
fun.
what we're trying to do
Yeah.
to bring the Chinese Mandarin stand up in the LA comedy scene.
We gotta get it going.
We don't have it. They have it in Seattle. They have it in San Francisco. They have it in
Yeah,
LA.
LA is like
New
the
York,
one place
New York.
without it. But let's take a quick break.
Okay.
We'll switch teas and
Yeah.
we'll get back and talk about a bunch more stuff.
Yes.
I'm Jesse.
Perfect. Jiaoying Summers. So happy to be here.
We'll be right back. Hey everybody, how are you doing? I hope you're enjoying this new format that we have of showing you guys the whole podcast, and also hopefully enjoying Jiaoying. She's hilarious. Had a great time talking with her. If you made it to this point in the middle, just a reminder that we do have the whole episodes on audio as well. If you follow the audio podcast, just search Tea Time with Jesse wherever you can find podcasts. And also, if you want to get 10% off your order, you can use the phrase Jiaoying Pod. That's the code Jiaoying Pod. That you can put into the order when you go and check out, and that'll get you 10% off your order. So going back to the rest of the episode with Jiaoying, here we go. Hello everybody, welcome back to Tea Time with Jesse. I'm here today with Jiaoying Summers.
Hi guys.
We're gonna do second half of the show today. We're drinking Aijie's 日常红茶, 古树红茶. So this is, Aijie is a tea farmer that I work with in Yunnan. And so she has this beautiful tea mountain. You fly to Kunming and then take a 7-hour.
Kunming is the best. One of my friends is in Kunming.
It's great.
Oh,
Kunming is a beautiful city. Kunming is the capital of Yunnan. And Yunnan is where all the pu'er comes from. And so this is ancient tree tea that it could have been turned into pu'er, but instead they put it into red tea. And this is her everyday tea. This is the tea trees are only 200 years old. They have some that are 1,000. But the only 200-year-old tea trees are also pretty nice. You can see the really, really nice teas over there on the tea cake. There we go. Tear off a little bit. And that's going to be tea for the second half of the show. So as we make this tea, I want to ask, what do you think of the green tea that we just had? Was it
the
good?
green tea was very good. It's just a very. I had a Korean barbecue for lunch.
Oh, yeah?
So it's a little heavy.
Yeah.
I did not have any carbs, so I don't eat rice because it's a trauma from my marriage. My ex didn't want me to eat rice, so I don't get fat.
Yeah.
So I don't eat rice when I'm not hungry, which is good. That's what helped me. But
Well, if you're not hungry, it is
I feel like
healthy.
a little greasy and stuff. But so like the green tea we just had at
tea.
Jesse Tea House is so good, so refreshing. It kind of, I think it can really help you digest,
It's good
clean
for
the
you.
oily thing from your
Yeah.
stomach. So it was a perfect thing to drink right after
Yeah.
a Korean barbecue.
And no sugar, which is
No
nice,
sugar, loved it.
Which is good. I'm not generally particularly healthy with my eating habits, which is a problem, but the tea is very healthy.
If you ever want help, I can text you bullying things. to
Oh
you.
yeah, that's good.
Oh my god.
I gotta hire your mother to yell at me.
Oh, she's gonna charge
Good?
extra.
Oh yeah, she's extra. She's big Hollywood herself. now.
I don't know, Jessie. I don't. Oh, first of all, she's gonna love you because she loves boys and you speak Chinese. She's gonna try to feed you every day.
That's good.
But tell me why I can't grow a dick and can be Jewish man.
There we go. Pour on the thing. Oh, we were going to do a tea pet game. That Tatong. Okay, so here's, first of all, pick whichever tea pet you would like to pour on. Let me give mine to.
I want the fat one.
Oh yeah, you want the go ahead.
Fat horse.
Go ahead.
Fat horse.
So we're gonna play a little game. These are my 4 tea pets that we have on here. I'm not gonna tell you what they're called. I want you to give each of them a name. So firstly, this guy. What do you name him?
小肥马.
小肥马. Yeah, that's not that far from what I named him. His name is Chonky Horse.
Chunky horse.
He's Chonky Horse.
So that's-
because he's so chonky.
Yeah,
He's
so it's like a little bit.
Oh yeah. And then here's
Should I
another.
speak English or Chinese?
It's whatever you want, whichever name you want.
Cutie Bandy.
Cutie Bam. Okay, this is Xander for me. Cutie Bam's a good name.
That's cute.
And then here we go. Big guy.
Fluffy goat.
His name is Fluffy. Yeah,
Fluffy.
there we go. And then here we go. Last one over here.
Oh, sweet bunny.
Sweet bunny. This Lucky.
Like cute.
There you go. So yeah, so do you have a bunch of tea when you were in China? Were you a tea person?
Yes. I loved tea when I was happy and young.
And then what kind of so Henan? What kind of tea do people drink in Henan province?
I think we like tea from Yunnan.
Yunnan, yeah.
Everybody likes tea from Yunnan. I like a pu'er.
Yep.
Yeah, I like green tea. I like a good Hangzhou 绿茶.
yeah.
Hangzhou.
Oh, Henan. Okay, perfect. I can ask somebody about this. So when I went and do shows in China, one of the funny things is that like I had to learn all of the stereotypes that Chinese people have for each other.
Yeah, they don't like us.
No, they don't like the Henan. And for whatever reason, this was the stereotype I always heard is that the Henan 偷井盖. They steal the manhole covers from the street and they like and sell them for pig iron. And,
oh my God.
And I was like, you've heard this before though, right?
I mean, because they are poor, so they steal things, but it's like we have bad people from every province.
Oh yeah.
So they blame everything on us. I know, like they call us thieves, you know.
Yeah, but this made no sense to me though, because I was like, first of all, if they're in your province stealing the Jinggar, does that mean there are no manhole covers in the entirety of Henan? Like they ran out and then they had to go to your province to steal the manhole covers? It didn't make any sense. But it's so specific that I'm like, it had to have at least happened once.
What else does they steal? How about your wife's
Yeah, it could be anything. You never know. You never know.
Funny.
So are the Henan really stealing manhole covers?
I don't think all of them do. Like 1% of the population, maybe. It's like cliche of black people, Asian people, Mexican people.
Yeah.
But it's not true because we all have good people.
Yeah.
We all have bad people from every skin color, every province, everything.
True that.
Yeah.
To good people and bad people.
Good people and the unity.
There we go. They good? They're good, right?
That's different. That's good.
So this is the gushu, like it's
smells too good.
Yeah. So this has it's red tea. So in the West, what they call black tea, the Chinese call hong cha, red tea. And so I always recommend this is like for people that maybe they like the Earl Grey or the English breakfast or whatever, but they want to have a higher quality tea.
Wow.
It's got that interesting scent, right? How would you describe this one?
This tastes like sex with a mistress.
It's like so the first one was the virgin.
Yeah.
This is the mistress.
The first one is about 花园越美, beautiful, nice, pure. This one is just like wild, exciting, exhilarating.
We gotta get you to do ads for the tea. You sell a lot of tea.
I know. I'll be selling.
We gotta get the Jesse's Tea House. Tiger MILF on your podcast.
Tiger MILF tea.
We should get on your podcast.
I should license some tea from you.
We should. That'd be a good thing. Other than the Henan, are there a lot of Henan in Hollywood? You have any idea?
No, not many. Not many. We kind of just don't come here. I mean, we do things that actually make money, so we don't come here. Get abused by Americans.
So what were the things that when you were like, okay, you're trying to figure out like American culture when you came here? What were the things where you're like most surprised about the way life actually was in America?
When I was in college, I think I did not understand that they tip the waiter. I think that they are insulting them. with money.
You're insulting them with money.
Yeah.
You thought it was like, oh, you're so poor.
Yeah,
I need to
I feel
give
bad
you money.
for you. Let me give you a tip.
Well,
I was like, ew.
Yeah.
People should be equal. I thought you guys have equal rights here. So then I become a waiter. I'm like, why don't you tip me, you bastard? I'm gonna spit in your tea. You know?
It shifted quick.
Very fast. And I was because they don't pay you as a waiter.
Yeah. No, waiters. That's the thing is like, waiters do need that tip.
They do.
But it's also because they wrote all these crazy laws. Like they allow people to pay the wait staff under minimum wage because they know they're going to get tips, which like you can't do that any other place.
No.
The only place you get paid less is in a comedy club.
Yes. Yeah. Nothing, drink tickets.
Yeah, you want drink tickets or free parking? And people, oh
Free
my God,
parking. Oh
you'll
my
pay
God.
for my parking? Oh my gosh. Well, this is like this is hard to get up and like, I guess there's a question is like when I see the way that you do things, I really respect the drive. You're just running
Everybody
hard.
said that about me. Bobby Lee is like, she's like, you just don't stop. You work so hard. And all my friends just like crazy, kind of amused by how much I
Well,
work.
because I'm wondering, the question is, I honestly think it's part of it's like China. I didn't grow
think
up
so.
in
It's
China,
being a
but
Chinese woman.
I lived in China for 10 years and like, there's just everybody's running at a higher speed.
Yeah,
you know?
it's kill or to be killed. Like it's winning or lose. And there's no second place.
Yep.
In the way I grew up, there's no second place. My mom would say the winner writes the history.
Yeah.
You have to
Winner does
win,
write the history.
or second place. There's second place is a loser.
I think so.
Every second place fail. Don't listen to this. This is toxic Chinese mom thing.
Yeah.
Only listen with caution.
Yeah.
Don't
Listen.
take it literally.
There's something in there, but
Reference.
don't listen to
As
it.
a reference.
Yeah.
It's not. I'm not saying it to you. You don't need this. You deserve better.
Yeah.
So there's no second place.
But,
If you're second place, you
this
failed.
was a problem. It was like I was like back when I was doing shows in China, we would be talking with the other comedians on like WeChat at 11:30 at night. And I was like, oh, everybody's unhealthy in the same way I'm unhealthy. But I knew it was unhealthy because this is not the way things work in America. Like you saw the strikes with the writers guilds and everything like that. They don't want to live like that, which makes sense. But then when you take that energy and then put it back into America, like you can just run over people.
I know. I run people over with my work attitude. How do I say work?
Work ethic.
Work ethic.
Yeah.
Work ethic. Ethic.
Yes.
Work ethic.
Sure do.
I don't complain. Whenever like I don't get something, I always look internally.
Yeah.
I always say that the reason I didn't get it is not because I'm a woman. It's not because I'm yellow, Chinese, or an immigrant. It's because I'm not undeniable. So I want.
You have to become unstoppable.
Undeniable.
Yeah,
They need
undeniable.
you because if they hire you, you produce more money. You make the production quality
I
higher.
think a lot of people like have this.
That's what I see.
Like I think that's sort of like that attitude works really well, and not just in entertainment, but anything where it's like I want my book to be published. Make yourself the type of person when other people make a lot of money from publishing your book. It's kind of not very. But I don't think this is in conflict with the art.
I don't think so.
No, it's not in conflict with the art because it's like. If you have really no interest in making the work good, then yeah, you're going to need somebody to help you. But if you work to make it really good, the whole world is full of people who would love to make good stuff, but they can't. So they will help other people who do make good stuff make some of the money, and then they take.
If you choose to do what we do as an artist performer, you are not gonna make a living if you are mediocre. You can be a mediocre lawyer, mediocre accountant, mediocre nurse, and people don't die from you. You can still make a living. But as a comedian, you have to be really good, one of the best to be able to make a good living.
And not just comedy, I think like all sorts of art and performance, and like it is a winner-take-all thing.
Yeah.
The top 2 to 3 people will make more money than the rest of the others. And again, artists don't necessarily work for the money, but the truth is if you're going to pay your rent and you have kids and you have all this stuff, you need to be able to do that.
Yeah.
And I think it's it's ironically, I think, a better place to be coming from if you have enough that you know, like, okay, I'm not going to get kicked out of my apartment tomorrow. I can actually work on the work. You need at least something of that in order to be able to make something really good.
I think the industry is unfair. It's definitely unfair. And there are times that somebody who is less talented than you getting better jobs. It happens. But if you are undeniable, you will work.
So how do you define undeniable? What makes you undeniable?
If you go to a show, you are the funniest on the lineup. You are funnier than the person before you, after you. And you are on time, and you are nice to all the staff.
Yeah.
And most people come to the show to see you.
And then all of a sudden
you repeat the same thing.
It's like it's funny how it shifts like
Shifts.
that.
Yeah,
It
when
shifts.
that is what you do, you'll be working
Yep.
and getting paid a lot of money.
Yep.
So I people don't like me. They really don't because
Well,
I when I see you,
yeah.
Jessie, you know the Chinese culture. You just like most people are like, oh, she's so.
Well, I know. I've lived in China, so I'm like, I see the way you react, and I'm like, she's getting it. That's all it is.
Other
She's just
guys are
getting
like,
it.
what's she up to? Like, what's wrong with her? I'm like,
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
I don't want from you. I don't
Yeah.
want anything from your basement. Like, you live in your mom's basement. I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't want your broke dick, honey. Like, shut up. So they were like, oh, what she want from me? I'm like, nothing.
Another good
You have nothing
T-shirt.
to offer.
Yeah, I don't want your broke dick. Shut up. That was good. You're coming out with a whole line. It's already good. I bet if you look back at this whole clip, you'd say 5 or 6 of them that you could get onto T-shirts. T-shirts, and also
Dustin designs my art.
you
He's
know
amazing.
people in China. We know people in
Yeah.
China. We get these shirts made.
Yeah,
shipped over here.
I find some shirts for us.
Yeah, we can get shirts. We can
People
do
do
that.
it for us. Yeah. So Jessie, what I'm trying to say is like it's like what you did. What you can pull off is impossible. Allow why speaking Chinese. So okay, first of all, you are a foreigner. You can speak your language to communicate with your friends. You are already winning.
Yeah,
You
it's hard.
can-
I mean, a lot of people, and especially in China, because they're so nice about it, they actually don't require you to be any better. If you can go in and you're like, hey, 你好,我要点菜. Like, what?
Cute.
They like it. And it's supportive. I don't want to make fun of people. I'm not bashing people. That's very supportive. But there's also, if you come in, hey, 你好,那个服务员怎么没过来? They don't know what to do with you. There's no place for somebody that speaks Chinese really well. And that was one of the reasons I started becoming a writer. Because I initially thought maybe I'll act in some movies. I like acting, I do improv, I could be of help. And then what I found out was no one was writing roles for foreigners in Chinese because they literally didn't think they could find an actor to say the words.
Oh my God.
They were like, and I've been to like when I was on one of the Chinese versions of SNL, like I was writing scripts and I wasn't getting cast in the shows. I would write the scripts, they would make my script, but then they would replace me in the acting.
With a Chinese guy.
And then later I found out it was because the boss literally thought I was going to forget my lines.
You're like, I wrote them.
I was like, I wrote that script. I'm not going to
won't forget about them.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm not. I'll just also like, come see me do stand up. I'll do an hour special.
I came up with the line when I'm pooping. I won't forget about it, honey.
And
It's
meanwhile, they hire like college students, like just out of college, because they're easy to sign for
Memorizing
the
it,
contracts.
yeah.
And like, they might mess up their lines. They're college students. They're not professionals. I've been doing shows for 9 years. So yeah, it was
hard.
annoying. It was
it's
annoying.
very hard, and
But
it's
like,
very inspiring. What
Yeah.
you can do is that you are not doing something, just doing acting, which is
Yeah.
easy. You brought
a lot of actors just went like, but
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
I agree.
easy.
As a
You brought
comedian,
it's a new.
comedians all think acting is easier than
Oh
comedy.
yeah, there's new art forms, stand up. You know,
yeah.
that's just really, really impressive. And so you just understand what I'm about because what I'm about to pull off has never been done before.
Yeah.
Joe did it.
Yeah.
Joe Wang did it. Joe Wang is the only person who did it.
Joe is great, and
Before me.
and Joe is on the podcast as well. If you want to hear a really great podcast, Joe's a super nice guy, very, very smart, PhD, also fantastic comedian. And the thing I like about Joe is the same guy in Chinese as he is in English.
I know.
It's
that's
really
why
hard to
he's
do.
authentic.
It's really hard to do because, like, as a foreigner, it's very easy to do jokes in China where if I want to be like, oh, 我不懂, you know, whatever, like, I don't know what's going on. But that's not me. Like, I'm always trying to learn. If I don't understand it, like, you know, I think that's funny.
I loved.
but I'm trying to
I
get it,
caught
you know?
some of your set at my show at Improv. People were dying. I loved how smart it was. You combined your Chinese, being a foreigner, and also the pronoun, gender, all kind of stuff all together in this one joke. It's quite brilliant.
Thank you.
I was very impressed.
I got to go back and look
I don't
at the
say that
things.
often.
Oh,
Even
thank
ask
you so
Dustin,
much. I
I'm very
appreciate it.
snotty.
Hey, well,
Right, Dustin? I'm very
snotty.
snotty.
Yeah.
I don't. If I'm not impressed, I won't
I appreciate
stare you.
it. Well, so I'll ask you then, because I actually have been looking for a chance to ask you a bunch of these questions anyway. Like, how do you think I should go about dealing with the American audience as this white guy who spent so much time in China? And I feel sometimes that if I come on, if I hit them with the full blast, if I don't go all the way down to like, you know, very basic stuff about China, they're going to get lost. Do you think I should just lose them?
I think you should forget about you went to China. You should forget about anything. You should just talk about Jessie right here, right now, today. And all of the thing about China, your Chinese is gonna come out.
Yeah.
It was so difficult for me. Like, do I do more about my Chinese background, Chinese things, or more things? Then I realized that look at his face. It's a Chinese woman, and you are the only, I would say, the only white man who can do who know Chinese so well, you can actually do stand up. It's gonna come out.
Yeah.
All of the things. So I just
Because
think
my
like,
regular everyday life, even though I'm here in LA, I'm drinking tea. I run a tea business in China.
Exactly.
I was thinking of doing a whole bunch of stuff about the tea business.
Exactly.
Even the little things, like I was thinking of doing a joke about, because in China, if you want to have a business, you need to have a registered address. But I went to try to find this address, and the guy was like, I was like, oh, 我需要这个地址，就是哦，你要真地址还是假地址？ I'm like, whoa, no, 我要做真的。He's like, 哦，你没明白，假地址也是真地址。
I love that.
I'm like, wait,
我
like, wait, 假地址分真假地址和假地址。真的地址就是我们真的有一个地址，我们注册给你好，这个地方是真的存在，但是你不在那儿。I'm like, well, 那这个假地址呢？就是假地址就是我们这个地方，我们也是租给100个人。
I have amazing joke to do with it.
Oh, yeah,
It's amazing. I'm
what
like,
do?
so the fake address and the real fake address is like a lot like LA girls' tits.
Yeah.
It's like real tits are the one who's fat transferred there.
Yeah.
The fake tits are like implants, but
Yeah.
the fake real tits are like the good implants. You can't tell the difference.
Yeah.
I don't know, something like that.
There's levels to this. This is what I'm saying. It's like if you weren't from American culture, you may not realize the difference between the real and the fake and the real
Because
fake.
the Chinese dress is so funny. It's I mean, even in English, it's hilarious.
Yeah, but I like the thing is like I feel like because you're not from America, you come here, people are ready for you to have a different way of looking at things. And that was the fun part of being in China as well. Is like I could bring up a normal topic, but people would be curious to see, is he going to come at it a different way? Do you have the problem where what if you agree with the most people are like, you know, if I brought up a regular topic in China and I say something that was actually like not a Laowai opinion, like, you know, I had a problem with like one time where I was trying to get a joke onto a Chinese TV show. And I had a joke about being on the subway in Beijing. But it wasn't like Laowai on the subway. It was just a joke about people on the subway and how they were just like attached to their phones. And then they're like, we don't want that on the show because anybody could say that joke. We don't need a Laowai to say that joke.
Yeah, but you are
know.
not. But in China, they are very specific about. They want you to play a certain role because your face is you're such a white boy.
Yeah.
So you want to do that. But in America, I feel like it's so much more random, like casual, and like the best comedies are like just like you and I drinking tea together.
Yeah.
The Chinese white boys. I was writing a joke. I'm like, so I have this white Jewish boy explaining tea to me. He knows tea more than I know about tea. I'm just thinking about how much my mom's gonna love him more than she loves me. I was crying while I was drinking, and I go, yep. I already know my mom's
That's
gonna love
funny.
him. She haven't even met him yet, but he has a dick, so. So like I just thinking.
I had a joke about how it was like, I bet it'd be really weird if I were dating a Chinese American girl, it'd be like uncomfortable for them because it's like, if the white guy doesn't speak Chinese, like, oh, he's making dumplings with my mom, that's so cute.
Oh my
But
God,
if he does
Jesse.
speak Chinese, he's like, oh, he's WeChatting my mom.
Oh my
What
God,
is he
Jesse,
saying?
that is hilarious. It's hilarious because I have a friend. His name is Michael. He's one of the part of the biggest law firm in South California, Southern California, and he's the head of their Asia Pacific office. So he speaks Chinese, not as good as you, nobody is, but very close. He's a Jewish boy.
Oh yeah.
So he's dating this Asian girl who is adopted
Oh,
by white people.
oh
Don't
my
speak
gosh.
a word of her own language.
Oh, that's gonna be so
So
confusing.
this girl knows no tea. This girl's like,
Yeah.
what is Buddha?
Yeah.
Oh,
my gosh.
Is Tokyo in Japan? You know,
Yeah, she doesn't know.
This white guy is like speaking Japanese.
And meanwhile,
fluently.
he's like a East Asia
yeah,
scholar and expert.
with art all over his house.
Ah, yeah.
It's hilarious.
I bet his apartment looks like my apartment.
Yeah, it's all
Come
like
on,
Eastern
Haji.
art. It's hilarious.
That's so funny.
Yeah, you
What a
are
world.
just you are a funny person.
Oh, thank you.
So I think
appreciate
you
that.
don't. I think don't think about the audience. Think about what makes you
Think
feel
about me,
good.
because that's the other thing is like.
Whatever is in your mind need to be released.
Yeah.
You only do that because you have no problem. You are already funny.
Yeah.
You are a funny guy. Whatever you do is funny.
And I think like it's one of these weird things. It's like the worst thing you could do as a comedian is like want the audience to love you. Like that. It's horrible. No one wants to go to a show. I need.
The way you treat the audience, you should be an abusive boyfriend. You should just like, I think you're getting fat.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. I
Yeah.
love you guys. Buy
Yeah.
tickets.
Buy tickets. Speaking of which, well, we'll pitch your tickets at the end. But Jiaoying's doing lots of shows. Would you have you felt like a difference in your life? As in, was there like a before and an after moment where you're like, oh, things have changed. I'm like, I'm real. It's real. What
There's
was
a
it?
moment.
What was it?
a moment. I think I would call that moment of me as a open micer who try to figure it out and a star. is I don't know if you know the Laugh Factory, but I started open micing, doing the audition mics on Tuesdays. I stand outside the line every day, and then I find a homeless guy. I pay him $50 to stand in there for me from 12
There we
noon.
go. Hey, Jay.
So I show up at 5:30. I'm being Chinese. I don't want to stand there.
Yeah. No.
And then I never got a call back. Sometimes I'm funnier than all the other people. I never got a call back for the open mic. So
Why do you think that was?
it's just very complicated. First of all, people who's hosting it, they are always gonna get their friends on stage, and the people. I'm a hard one to love.
Yeah.
I'm more like people who love me. Who don't like me.
You have to be
don't
okay
like
with
me.
that energy, because you're not changing your energy
No.
based on the. You walk into the tea room, you're on 100%.
Yeah.
Like you're gonna do what you want to, regardless of what space it is or whatever.
So people who don't like me, I'm not gonna change it.
Yeah.
Be a mild person of me, be a wish.com, Jiaoying Summers, be a cheap version of me.
Oh, that would be
I can-
so bad.
It's disgusting.
It wouldn't.
So I know I
it would not
can't
work.
change. Either you like me or you don't like me. And the comedy thing, they don't accept new things. They want you to be a new Ali Wong. People ask me, don't wear makeup, wear overall, do more dirty jokes, be like more like Ali, Ali the star, I can't be Ali. Ali, everything she does is signature. It's the real authentic
Well, she's
flavor of
doing it
Ali
because
Wong.
that's what she wants to do. It's
Yeah,
like, why
she-
would you do what she wants to do?
I will only gonna be a cheap knockoff version of her.
Yeah.
I won't even be me. I'm just nothing.
So
people
we're
tell me that to do that.
So what was the moment we were there in the line?
Yeah,
You're
let's
like,
go to
okay,
the moment.
you're lining
Yeah.
up.
So I never got anything. So I remember one time, Laugh Factory was doing a search, a comedy competition. The search of the funniest female comedian is like 10 shows. They would you should send your tape. Actually, the white girl, my friend, she's another white girl, speak Chinese, grew up in Hong Kong. Asked me to send the tape. I'm like, no, they don't like me there. No. Off. So I'm like, you know what? I'll email. So I got an audition. I wasn't gonna make it. I was in Seattle. I don't want to go because I know they won't pick me because it's been a year. I've been doing the open mic. So I somehow something changed. I went up. I showed up. I went there. I remember I was at a bar. I had one IPA, and I'm like, it. I'm having one more. It.
Yeah.
I don't care because they're not gonna pick me.
The alcohol, the classic Simpsons line, alcohol, the cause of and solution to all
then
of
I just
life's
everybody. So it was my turn. I went on stage. I was me, full-blown Jiaoying Summers, the one I wanted to show the world, but I was scared to show.
Yeah.
I went on stage. I just literally
You just let it all out.
destroyed it, and I got up. I left, and then the manager ran after me, be like,
Yeah. That's the way to do it. You were just out.
I became a paid regular.
Do you
overnight.
think
That was the moment I knew I was a
That
star.
was the moment you're there. You're like, I can be me, and the more I'm me, and then
Because
leave.
normally, I don't want to be
and if
me.
you want me, you'll chase me.
Yeah, you don't want me
Yeah.
off.
You want it? And
So
if
that's
you-
when I kind of don't care anymore because I said that I always try to be polite and sweet because people don't like how aggressive I am.
Yeah.
They always say that you are too aggressive on stage. You're not a star yet. You can't be that because you scare people off. But then I be
Well,
a tough
I think
ass.
nowadays there's more than one way to do it. I think that's the best part about the internet is a lot of people they hate on TikTok or they hate on social media and they just don't get it. It's like whoever you
They
are.
also all have account when they hit on.
They all
have account with 200 followers.
Yeah, exactly. Well, they all what it is I think it's two things. Why do people hate on TikTok? It's two things. It's fear and pride. The pride is I'm too good for this. And the fear is what if I actually show people my best effort and it doesn't work?
Yeah.
And
exactly.
then like if you can't get over those two things, forget just like art. Like it's going to be hard in life if you can't get over those two things because nobody is good at anything when they start. You need to fail at stuff repeatedly. And people who learn the second language know you're going to sound like an idiot and you may even be very successful and people still, they don't know you, they hear an accent, they still might think you're slow.
They think people don't respect me because of my accent, but I don't explain myself. I just show them the results. I don't show anybody. I do me.
So now that you're doing more shows, how has it changed? Because you're raising kids. How do you balance sort of raising kids and being a comedian?
It's just
and get everything together.
More pressure because I want to take the children on tour. That costs me more money. So I just need to sell more tickets. I need to be better at what I do as a comedian. I need to be bigger on my social media game so I can sell more tickets. So we're working towards to basically expand my reach and get more content on
You gotta
social
sell some
media.
t-shirts. You got
sell t-shirts. And I want my children to really, I want to teach them like the white dad way, like love.
Yeah.
I know it's disgusting, but I'm going to not to be the super Chinese mom. I want them to do what they love.
Why is it so important to you? Do you think it's just because of the way you were raised? You want to do it different?
I'm successful. I'm really, really high achiever, but I'm not happy. Nothing can make me happy. So
well, don't give up on it.
I'm working on it.
You're working on it, yeah.
But I just want children to really feel like they are loved unconditionally, and then they can thrive at the things they love. I don't want to surround like, if you don't do this, I won't love you. I want them to know that I'm always here.
Be more open.
Yeah, see, so they have a safety place. They are more secure.
That makes sense.
Easier to be happy.
Because when you think about that, how do you wind up doing that on a day-to-day basis? Are there things where you kind of have to catch yourself?
Yeah, I catch myself. And I also catch my mom. She loves them so much. 隔代亲, the grandparents love the grandchildren so much. But sometimes my mom has this anal thing. When something is messy, when the kids make something messy, she starts screaming.
Yeah.
I don't like screaming. As a mom, you cannot scream at them. We have made, they are children, they are 4. It's okay they make a mess on the floor.
That's what they
do.
It's
okay they draw on the wall. I don't care about the wall.
Professional
There's no Japanese coming to examine the wall. The wall.
Yeah, exactly.
We own the house.
Fine. Yeah.
We don't pay rent. We own the house. The kids can pee on the wall. I don't care. He can clean after.
It's our wall.
He can clean after.
Yeah. Or put a frame around it and say that's art.
Yes.
There you go. So it's kind of that process of trying to do it differently.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Break the generational trauma.
It's hard to do.
Yeah.
I'd imagine.
It's very hard, but I don't want my mom to scream because whenever she screams at me, I shake.
Yeah.
I would remember once as a little kid, she screamed at me, she's screaming at me. Whenever I get my hand dirty with the koi pond, she'll be screaming like, "Why don't you just die?"
Yeah, it's great. I mean, I big ups to my parents. My parents, I think, I had an untraditional sort of parenting situation grow up. My dad is gay. My dad came out when I was in 2nd grade, and so my dad and his husband, Guy, are 2 of my parents, and my mom is the 3rd parent, and now my mom is a boyfriend, blah, blah, blah. But basically, I was raised by 3 parents, and they were all very good with each other. It didn't matter that we were divorced or my dad was gay or straight or whatever, because I essentially just had 3 parents. And they were very open about being okay with whatever I did. I would if I was I want to do improv, they're like, great. I want to. I think part of it was, and I think that I had a joke that I was doing back in China where they're I had a bunch of gay dad jokes and people are like, oh, they say oh, 那这个你如果是跟中国人结婚的话，你家人会介意吗？然后说我家是 gay， 我爸是 gay， 所以他已经接受了。他跟我说我已经接受了半辈子有人拒绝我的爱情，你觉得我会觉得国籍重要吗？是个男的都 OK。as long as it's a guy, and so I have to be the one to disappoint my dad by being straight.
So you are heterosexual.
I'm straight, but because I think of having the untraditional family situation, I think that my parents really had to think about it a little bit more, and they're saying what does it mean for us to want to have our life in the way that we want to do it, and then why would we tell our children they can't? We have a kid that wants to live in Asia. Yeah, go for it. And some of that is a money thing. If I didn't have enough money to fly back, that would have been hard. But I managed to make enough money where I could travel back, and I actually came home, I bet, more than a lot of kids. If I had lived in LA, it still would have been hard to go back more than once a year, especially starting. From Boston.
Boston. You're from Boston.
Yeah,
oh
Boston, East Coast,东北.
You have to do the Boston show together.
Yeah. Well, if you're in Boston, let me know.
Yes, I'm getting the Wilbur.
Oh, Wilbur. Wilbur's big theater. Yeah, that'd be great. No, I'd love to do that. The Wilbur's is a major theater. Didn't Joe Wong? I think Joe performed at the Wilbur.
We almost did it, but the time didn't work out.
Oh, yeah.
We were gonna do it together.
Oh, you told me about it.
I did Boston Laugh Factory. Boston Laugh Boston.
Yeah,
I did
Laugh Boston. Norm Laviolette.
December. Yeah,
good guy. Yeah, Norm's great. So there's, but I think that that sort of. So you want to be able to create that sort of situation for your kids where they're not they're not feeling like they have to do this or have to do that.
Yeah, my ex-husband is emotionally distant. He's very emotionally distant. He doesn't when Winston make a mistake, he would give him the silent treatment for a long time. He would be like, Daddy, he'd just be like this. So that's not, he's not in the picture.
Yeah.
So I have to make up for companionship. I think companionship is very important. So I can't be with them unless I'm rich.
Yeah.
So
You're
therefore,
well, it makes a lot of things easier if
be
you have the
rich.
money to be able to
Yeah,
do it.
so
And you're going to
I'm-
fight for it if you know
yeah,
what
I'll
it's for.
take them to Vegas with me. They're always by my side. My son opens for me. He's genius.
Really?
He does a 1 minute killer.
Oh, that's great.
Joe saw him doing it at Covina Laugh Factory.
Oh, that's great.
Very good.
Is he
loves
good on
audience.
stage?
Amazing. Dustin, he was great, huh?
Yeah.
On stage?
Killing it.
Incredible.
Killing
Like,
it.
he loves audience. He's comfortable there. He wants to be there.
That's good.
So I'm gonna try to get him to open for me more. Just like 1 minute.
Well, just play, because I think that's the sort of thing, like I remember when Joe was in China, his son would be hanging around backstage, and I thought this was like a very different environment that I grew up in, but on the other hand, it's kind of fun. Like being backstage in a comedy show.
You know, I met Joe before I
fun.
started comedy.
Oh, did you?
I met Joe 7 years ago.
Oh, wow.
And my husband and I went to Joe's office. My husband was gonna invest Joe's TV show.
Oh, really?
I was not a comedian. I never told Joe I want to be a comedian. Joe was actually teaching stand-up in China right then. And that's why it came to a shock to him that 2 years later,
He's
people
like,
started
oh,
talking
yeah.
about my name. And 3 years later, I became
like, yeah,
me.
well, super
He's
interesting,
like,
yeah.
what?
Yeah, he's like,
Like
yeah,
he-
super name.
Yeah, 对啊.
But Joe's so nice. I'm sure
Love
he's like
Joe.
up on
Love
it.
Joe.
I think so I think it's great. I mean, I'm very glad you're able to come on the podcast. Thanks so much for coming
Thank you
over
for
tea.
having me.
Before
Love your tea.
Before we head out, last couple of questions. I usually do like a lightning round. So like, one sentence answer, something like that. But before we do the lightning round, just what did you think of this red tea?
This red tea, I love it. It's kind of like a wake-up call. It's like boom,
Yeah.
because you have a big meal and a busy afternoon. But as a comedians or somebody who wanted to look alert early evening, you drink this in the afternoon, and you can be very alert. Like we go on stage, before we go on stage, we do this, or like you have an important date, you don't want to look sleepy on dates.
No.
That's why you have the Hong Cha to go on dates.
Yeah.
And also the tea leaves are very good because in Chinese culture, if you are poor, you can't afford to get gold earrings. When you just get your ear pierced, you put tea leaves in there.
Oh, is that a thing?
It keep it not being infected.
Oh.
Those tea leaves are good.
The tea leaves are good.
You can see the tea leaves people put in your ear for like.
I didn't know that. I
Yeah,
gotta
yeah.
look. I
By the
gotta
way,
look that up.
yeah.
That's good. The things
it's
you
so
don't.
long.
But these are the things I never learned
It's
as
cool.
as a guy that moved to China in my 20s. I never learned
will
about
never
my
hang
ear
out with
piercing.
poor people.
I never. Well, it's not the poor people. It's just I don't have my ear pierced.
Oh, it's okay.
But the red tea is great.
I love it.
Let's do our lightning round. So one sentence answer. I know that might be hard for you, but
I know it's hard. I can't keep my hormones shut.
Yeah.
That's no problem.
Let's do it. So first thing is, what's the best part about being a comedian?
Your life happens is not it's gold.
Yeah, that's good. What's the worst part of being a comedian?
You are lonely.
What's the craziest comedy show you've ever performed in?
Billboard bring me up on stage and calling me hilarious and amazing.
Oh, that's amazing. What's the worst comedy show you've been involved in?
I was invited. I sold out 2 shows in New York City. Those person begged me to do a show, do a spot. I didn't want to do it, but because I feel bad to reject them, and I went up there and they did not give me a city time.
What?
When I don't need to do it.
That's annoying. That's pretty bad. What's your let's see, one last question. Let's say, what's your advice for people that are trying to do comedy or anything creative in their second language?
Don't give up. Fight for it.
Don't give up, fight for it. Again, put that on a shirt.
Yeah.
We got a couple shirts out of it today. Thank you so much, Jiaoying, for coming
Thank you
over. I
for having
appreciate
me,
it.
Jesse.
For those of you who are new to the show, thank you so much for listening all the way through to the end. If you want to get any of the stuff on here, the tea tables, the tea pets, the kettles, the tea themselves, all this stuff is up on the website. We even have the Jesse C House tea towels and stuff like that.
Cute.
You guys getting tea supports the show. The show prospers. We all prosper, and you get really good tea. Other than that, I'm not exactly sure when this is airing, so you may be able to see some really fun content of our green teas. We have a green tea either pre-order or up for order by the time this comes out. And I'm going to be in China basically most of the rest of the spring at the Green Tea Mountains doing comedy shows, maybe do something together with Jiaoying in May.
Yes, so excited.
It would be fun. So thank you so much for watching, everybody. I really appreciate it. And Jiaoying, where can they find you?
JiaoyingSummers.com, SummersComedy.com, Jiaoying Summers everywhere, social media, TikTok, Instagram, and I have my national tour all year round.
And she's performing in a ton of places. So if you're one of these people that are like, oh, I don't live near the major city or whatever, you have a lot of dates.
Yeah, there's a city near you. I'm coming to a city near you.
Yeah, she is coming. Whether or not you're there, that's your problem.
Yeah.
And you need to solve that. So thank you guys again so much for watching. Thank you, Jiaoying, for being on the show.
Thank you for having me, Jesse.
Cheers. And see you next time. Bye-bye.
Cheers.